Hi, scrubbers. It's Suncear and Myda here. And this time for our scrub, we are going to be talking winter. Usually we talk about astrology, but we're getting into the winter doldrums today. We're going to talk about how can we be our best selves during this time that is so dreaded by so many people. Just a time that's really gray and bare. And what can we do to be our best selves at this time? So I'm Suncear from Suncear Wellness, and there's Myda from the Shared Edge, and together we're Edge of the Sun. And what can we do to maintain our spark during this very dry season? So Myda and I were chatting, and really, it's just about finding things at this time that can make you happy. I personally don't mind winter so much because I feel like winter is one of the seasons. I like seasons also. I don't like the whole idea of living in California or something where everything kind of seems the same. I like the idea of the changing seasons, and I think every season has its season. It has its purpose. And winter's purpose is about getting quiet, going within, connecting with ancestors, figuring out what it is that you'd like to let go of, what you want to bring more of in, during when it does get warmer. It's like planting the seeds, if you will. So what are some of the things that we can do? And I know Myda will talk about her boots situation, but I'm right along with Myda with that. As far as like there's a pair of boots that she likes. I like wearing this coat that I have. And somebody gave me a compliment on the coat the other day. And I was like, I actually almost wish it gets really cold because it doesn't make sense for me to wear it in like 40, 50 degree. It's one of those Canadian coats. And I like the coat so much that I actually like when it gets kind of like pretty cold so I can wear it where it makes sense for me to wear it. So it has its moments. And this is just the time of year where we have to figure out what it is that we enjoy about this time.
And also like getting those things to enjoy, like you're mentioning the coat. She mentioned also my boots. I have these really cute like pink boots that it has to be really cold to wear them. Otherwise you're just like boiling. So it's like, it gives you something to look forward to. So sometimes it is just that, like trying to find these little things to look forward to, because I mean, right now it's like super gray outside, it's cold, it's just dreary every day. The last thing you want to do is even put shoes on and go outside. But it's like, oh, but look what I have, And so it's like trying to find those little moments. Even if it's like, oh, coming inside and then getting a nice cup of hot chocolate. Just these little things that we don't necessarily do in the summertime. I mean, maybe you drink hot chocolate in the summer, but probably not, especially if you're in the Northeast. So it's just that trying to find those little moments of light and inspiration that will carry us through to the sort of more, warm, sunny days ahead.
Yeah, and using the season to your benefit. It's like this is the time maybe to start planning. This is connected to the earth element, which is connected to strategizing and structure too. So this is a time to really think about what it is that you would like to call forth. I mean, I think even though I think that springtime is really the new year energetically, I think there's something to be said about us celebrating the new year in January because it is a time where we're getting quiet and thinking about what it is that we would like for ourselves during this Gregorian time. So I just say use winter to your benefit. Find the things that make you happy at this time, and I think there's something to be said about doing that as well. That's a good practice to find things that you enjoy during times where we physiologically may not feel enthusiastic about things. I mean, there's seasonal depression, which is very real. And there is the cold, which people don't really want to go out and be into. It gets dark really early. So there's a lot of things to be down about in the wintertime. But I think to find something that you enjoy in the wintertime and again, use it to your benefit could actually, I mean, it just makes all the difference in the world.
Totally. Yeah. And just like because there is that time, we're not going out as much. It really gives you time to savor those little things. So I think that's important. Yeah.
I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, like you said, I like the hot chocolate thing. I like
Mhm.
that thing. I like that whole ski thing too. The whole idea of like going to a ski lodge and being surrounded by snow. And
Yeah.
it's that whole like, I don't know, the whole scene I think is I personally, I think it's very cool.
I mean, that's how the sort of like the Scandinavians do it, right? Because they have really short days and it's really cold and really long winters. And they even have a whole term for it, that experience of just like creating your own coziness and your own comfort so that it makes it bearable. Because otherwise you're just going to be depressed all the time and miserable. So just trying to create your own sense of coziness.
I love that, by the way, creating your own sense of coziness and comfort.
Yeah, yeah, it's so necessary, and that can apply, like you were saying, to any time of year. It's just now we probably find ourselves more into it intuitively. But I mean, I think it's always about trying to create your own sense of comfort in a little way that you can.
Hmm. Totally agree.
Well, we're going to do that in our little meditation today. Just 5 minutes or so to just drop in and find that place where we can reside in, that feels cozy and comforting, and that is a little bit of a light that will carry you through those darker days. So if you have headphones, we recommend them, but if not, don't worry about it. The sound, Suncear will be administering distance Reiki, so that will also come through regardless of what you're actually hearing or physically experiencing. So don't worry. And if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, maybe you come back to this, or just take as much time as you can today to let yourself drop in. Okay. So then whenever you're ready, you can find a comfortable position. And a place where you can relax your seat. It's still an upright seat, but it's relaxed and supportive. And when you're ready, you can let your eyes close. Really embrace the next full breath in by relaxing the belly, the ribs, and the chest, so you can really fill up with breath. And then just let it go as you open the lips and sigh the breath out. And just doing that a couple more times so that you're creating a really receptive, fertile ground to receive your own bit of comfort, like preparing the soil in the wintertime actually does create the abundant bed that will blossom forth in the summer. So just taking that moment to really allow yourself the opportunity to prepare and receive. And as you start to feel the vibrations of the sound and the Reiki, letting yourself feel the comfort in that. The feeling of being held in time and in space without the need to have to do anything, but just settle in and be comfortable. Hopefully you feel warm wherever you are, but not too warm, not too cold. You have just the right amount of layers. That whatever space you're in right now, even if it's at work, gives you that feeling of safety and support. Even financial support. Winter does give us the feeling of the permission to burrow, to nestle in where we feel safe. And connected most lovingly and closely to our hearts. In this time that isn't so outward facing, you can spend good quality time with your heart, its desires and its joys. In this time of year, what is it that brings you that sense of greater joy, of warmth, of light, however small? Maybe it is the feeling of putting on a warm coat, or your favorite pair of boots, or laughing with your friends by a fireplace. Or taking the darker days to settle in by your bedside table and light and read a book. Just let yourself feel the warmth of that little action, that little fire that you can nestle by whenever it feels too dark or gray outside. Take a deep breath in through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. Continuing to embrace the warmth of your own comfort. And whenever you feel ready, of course, you're welcome to just sit basking by your own little fire. But whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Nice, Myda. You really transported me.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that ski scene that I mentioned earlier. And what was interesting is that I've seen this scene before, and I don't remember which scrub it was that we did, but there was a scene where it was a log cabin type thing in the middle of nowhere in winter. Like it was a winter scene, and inside the house was what seemed like a flame. There was a glowing light. And it seemed to me that it was some sort of metaphor for ourselves in solitude and finding that warmth and comfort within ourselves. So that theme came up again. I thought that was really interesting. Okay, this is random and I'm almost embarrassed to mention this because I play word games on my phone sometimes, and you know how you have to watch those commercials after each game, right? And then there's this one game, it's a king game, and you have to save the king. And it's actually kind of morbid. I really don't like it at all. But in any case, so the king could die if you don't move the blocks in the right way. So anyway, that king showed up. And I was like, what is that about? And I was like, is it about me playing this game too much and it's this, or is it I don't play that game. I mean the game that I play. But anyway, um it made me wonder if it had to do with saving yourself, because it almost looked like the king was outside of the game watching the game as opposed to being within the game needing to be saved. So it felt like he had taken this ownership of the game instead of sitting back and going, oh my goodness, this is horrible. He decided to shift it and save himself. So I felt like that was in alignment with what we were talking about with winter, because instead of just sitting back and going, oh, this sucks, finding ways to make it not suck so much. I mean, I really feel like it's up to us because the season is going to happen whether we like it to or not.
Mhm.
And then I saw a palm tree, which this is a kind of a comical thing today, like a scene, because I was like, okay, we just got through telling people to embrace the winter. And here comes a palm tree. But then, and I was like, okay, maybe what is this palm tree about? And then I felt the palm tree kind of go within. So once again, it was almost like finding the warmth within. So it wasn't so much about going to the palm tree, but bringing the palm tree to you, if that makes any sense.
Mhm. Totally.
Yeah. So in that sense, it made sense. And then I began to see a lot of very wintry scene. It was just very barren, just, no leaves. All the leaves were dead on the ground. And it made me think of death in a positive way because it's about the cycle and it's about letting things go and embracing that and accepting that what it is. So accepting the season and understanding that this is the time to think about what you would like to let go. I mean, autumn is as well, but this is about, renewal. I guess at some point you're going to be building from this nothingness. Like it has to be nothing in order for you to rebuild, so it has its place. And then I saw a dove, which was very random. I'm not really sure. Doves have to do with peace, and maybe it was finding inner peace within ourselves again, or making peace with this season. And then for the random portion of the day, I mean, they're all kind of random, but this one was super random. Okay, Pinocchio. I have no idea why Pinocchio came in. I can't even make sense of the Pinocchio thing, to be honest. So I'm not sure if anybody has anything that, I mean, maybe you might have can make some sense out of Pinocchio. um
I mean, I could
Please.
probably extract something, but it would definitely be like pulling at it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't know. So please let us know what your thoughts are on Pinocchio, folks, because I really don't know. I mean, I don't, are we lying to ourselves about, because his nose was big, and his nose was in lying mode. So
Well, maybe it was in his quest to find, like, basically he wanted to just be a real person, right? So maybe in his quest to find himself, he like you have to kind of go there, go into the dark, go into the lies that you have about yourself and shed them so that you can be your most authentic version of yourself.
I like that. See, there you go.
I don't know, but it works.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much all I have. I think so. Yeah. Oh, and then I just something else came to me in terms of this time of year. There's also less distraction. That came up with the log cabin scene. So I think again that's something to be embraced. And
Well, it's also interesting when you were talking about the game, like getting kind of almost like, or are you playing the game too much? I think sometimes we can use this time as that, like, oh, I have an excuse not to go out, so I'll stay inside. But instead of actually doing things that really do create a sense of warmth and joy, we just find other distractions that actually pull us away from that source of really deep warmth and joy. So it's also finding the balance, using this time in a productive, I don't want to say productive, but in a way that's really healing and nourishing.
Mhm. Yep, that makes sense too. I totally get that.
Mhm.
There's all types of ways to get through this season. We're right smack in the middle of it, y'all. It's not going away until the end of March.
May or something. I mean, it doesn't really even get warm here until May, like May or yeah. So we got a while still.
So yeah, so just deal. I know. I know. What is that? Daylight saving time or whatever. That's happening at the end of March. So that's a little bit of a
Okay, so that's like that little something, little extra sunshine. Yeah.
something to look forward to. So yeah, so that's the joint, that's the jam. Like we said earlier, we are now opening up Bali. We are going to have that in the caption as far as where you can sign up for the wait list. And there's going to be a lot of cool things about that. We'll talk about that a lot more as we go along in our scrubs, but we just wanted to give a little taste of that. It's about embodying abundance. We're working through the chakra system, and in true Edge of the Sun fashion, we are doing things in a exciting way. We are incorporating yoga and meditation, but we are creating a retreat that people can truly. What's the phrase you use, Myda? There's a phrase. Myda's the poet in the group here. That was so perfect. It was about like embracing or living.
Living in intention. Yeah, I think it was living it fully in intention.
There you go. Yes. So yeah, so we're all about that, and hopefully you all will be interested in coming as well. Some of you, we would love to have you. So anything else there, Mida Lorida?
Nope, that's it.
Being
Yeah.
stay tuned for our class we're also doing in it's the third Thursday in February, manifestation using the chakras. So we're going to be doing the solar plexus, which is all about action. So hopefully we'll see you then.
Thanks, everyone.